We live today. We going live today. Today. We live today. So if you guys watching the replay, you probably want to skip forward about 5 minutes. We just gonna talk some shit. That's all we're gonna do. We gonna talk some mess. That's what we're gonna do today. That's all we're gonna do today. So y'all get prepared for this game, for this live. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. We're gonna get started with the live. We're gonna get started with the live shortly. Gonna let some people come in here. I need to do a mic check on this before we get started. Mic check. Mic check. So yeah, we straight. We straight on the audio. Mic check. So yeah, we straight. We straight on the audio. Mm. Oh shit. Mm. Yeah, we're gonna get started with the live shortly. We're gonna let some more people come in here, come in the building, but we start talking this mess about this whole generation of women that's lost. Yeah, I feel bad for a lot of you guys, bro. Some dudes ain't getting no intercourse at all. And some of you dudes want families. You hope it's romantic. You want to have a family, have a wife that's gonna love you forever. And those options are decreasing daily. Sad reality. But we don't talk about it today because you need to know about it. You need to know just how down bad this whole thing is. So we're gonna let some more people come in here. As you guys come in, hit that like button for me. Double tap the screen on these vertical lives. We're gonna talk about these whole generation of women that's lost. Lost. And to be real with you guys, they never really had a chance, to be honest with you. Our collapse of our society has been deteriorating since the 60s and the 70s. So it finally got down to this generation. It finally got down to this generation. Let me see where I can put this so I ain't gotta worry about this shit. Like they put this on my chain or something. 'Cause sometimes the noise be peaking. So yeah, as you guys come in here, hit the like button for me. Yeah, we gotta talk about these women, man. These women. Let me put the shades on because I just feel like putting the shades on. Why not? Just fuck it. Why not? We gonna put the shades on today. These are Arnett's. If you guys are wondering what they are, lost women. What you guys are dealing with are lost women, and you think you can fix them. You think you can make them into a better woman. Well, you're going to suffer in that process because that's not what she wants. So, what you have to realize about the women today is that the majority of the women today, they never really truly had a chance at being a good woman. Why do you say that? Why do you say that, Miles? Well, their mother was conditioned by feminism. Their grandmother started feminism back when she was born in the 60s and 70s, having the disco and all that stuff. Having fun, getting ran through back then. Half of y'all's uncles and aunts aren't related to y'all. That's what y'all don't realize. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation because the paternity test fraud has been going on for generations. A lot of you guys have brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles that you are not related to. Sad reality. As you guys come in here, hit that double tap on that like button for me. I much appreciate it. We got to talk this real talk today about what you're dealing with today with women in this dating market. You're dealing with a whole generation and generations of women that have been lost. A lot of you guys, whenever you walk out into the real world, you be just living life. You just like, you know what? Go to work, take care of my business, come back home, watch a couple shows, hit the gym and go back. You know what I see when I step out of the house 9 times out of 10? I see a bunch of lost souls, a bunch of lost people. That's what I see when I look out into society today. And the majority of the people that are lost are women. And you guys are following behind women. Why? Why are you following behind women? It's not in any religious text to follow behind women. Where does it say that in the best societies that in history where women were leading? Very little evidence of that. And there's a reason for that. Guys, let me address some of the people in the chat room. I don't know how to say that, bro. TikTok, I'm gonna say TikTok. What's going on, man? Mike Martinez in the building. What's going on, bro? But you guys follow, listen, cower down to women. And you're wondering why you're struggling. Wondering why you're not getting anywhere. So let's get into why and how we got here. Like I said, a lot of these women today are lost women. And they never really had a chance. They never had a chance because they were raised in 304 culture. They were raised in this. This is what made them. How you condition a child and raise a child, that's how a person is wired. That's what they get their belief systems from, their environment. So a lot of these women that are lost, being promiscuous or doing whatever the hell they're doing, single, without guidance, lost, they never really had any strong leaders to begin with. None whatsoever. So a lot of these women, they were raised in 304 culture. They raised with Kim Kardashian. Ever since Kim Kardashian came out and did her thing, well, now all the women want to have big butts now. It used to be women used to only they want breast implants. Now they want to have big butts too. And also too, just to get on the aesthetics of women, a lot of you guys, you're dealing with fake women. Her titties are fake, butt is fake, her lips are fake. She got the Botox to make her face look more chiseled like a man's. Her hair is fake. Her makeup makes her look a certain way that she don't look like without makeup. You're dealing with fake women. Guys, any woman or anybody really that is on the internet that has a perfect body, the biceps is just perfect. She has a snatched waist and the curves is just right. It's probably fake. A lot of these Instagram models, BBLs. And so we're feeding, there's a whole market. Women's whole and beauty, makeup, and all that stuff is wired to help women further their narcissism. A woman now, they can't step out the house without having makeup on. Every woman, if you ask them a question, what they would change about themselves, they all have one or two things that they would change about themselves. Why? Because they're insecure about how they look. You can have a very attractive woman, you'd be like, girl, you look good. Damn, girl, you got some curves on you. She's still insecure about something. So women's beauty and all standards and all that stuff is wired around their insecurity and their narcissism. If these women don't care that these surgeries could possibly take their life, if you get a BBL and you got to take that stuff, the fat from the stomach, well, the fat, if you hit one of them arteries, you're gonna bleed out. That's how DC Young Fly lost his wife. All behind her wanting to be something that she wasn't naturally. Narcissism. It's quite sad the lengths that women will go to just to be beautiful. And nothing's ever enough. They'll have these surgeries and they'll still be insecure. It's like, what the hell is going on? What the hell? So all of this is contributing as to why you're dealing with a whole generation of women that are just lost. They don't have a purpose. They don't know where they're going in life. Just floundering, floating around, wandering around, being strags, being stragglers. So a lot of these women, they were raised to be 304s. They were raised in 304 culture. Raised with Kim Kardashian, Sexy Red. I mean, damn. When was the last time you saw a Sexy Red video or a Sexy Red concert clip or just Sexy Red in general where she didn't get up and she turned her butt around and started shaking her butt? And these single mother raised daughters don't have a guidance from their father. They're watching this stuff at 8 years old, thinking, you know what? If I want to get a man, I need to turn my ass around and start moving it. A lot of these women be lost at a lot of young ages. They grow up watching these shows, 16 and pregnant. Homie, they was raised to be 304s, bro. That's why when you guys go out to these clubs and you be cold approaching them and all this stuff, and you be trying to find a wife, as soon as you ask them a few questions, you be like, damn, girl, you's a hoe. You be disappointed too. You be hella disappointed. You be like, damn, I thought you was a good girl. You look conservative. You dress conservative. You look like a decently kept woman. Then you ask her some questions. She done got been abused. She didn't got ran through. Like you, a lot of you guys thought Cassie because Cassie looks like a sweet woman. It's the sweet ones that be doing the most dirt. It's the quiet ones that be the most crazy. And so, guys, these women, they were raised in this culture, raised with Megan Thee Stallion. They think the proper way to get attention is to have their titties bouncing. Then they grow up watching reality TV, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. They think love is a game. That's why whenever you guys they be trying to get into relationships with these women, they be like, "Well, you supposed to do this and that." It's like, damn, you following the script, ain't you? I'm not a robot. I'm not a romantic robot that is trying to do specifically everything that your fantasy of what a romantic relationship is supposed to be. But women, they've been doing this for a long time. And so she's been raised to be a 304. So by the time she get 20 years old, she done been seeing this stuff for about 10 years now. How are you going to switch her mind into a good woman? She don't know what a good woman is. Her mom wasn't a good woman. Her mom had dudes coming in and out the house when she was younger. You know, hearing her mom making all these kind of sounds in the room next door. Homie, she's used to this. She thinks this is how she's supposed to live her life. So when she goes to college, she got dudes coming in and out the dorm. She getting 10 bodies on the first week of college. I know a lot of you guys can't take this level of reality, but your ass gonna learn today. Your ass gonna learn today. You gonna get this game today. She was raised in it, bred to be it. And here you are, a 23-year-old man with no experience, trying to change a woman into a good woman who's been conditioned since she was a little child to be a 304, trying to make her into a housewife. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You know what you end up with when you try to change women? You know what you guys end up with? A broken heart. That's all you end up with. You get your heart stomped on. You get disrespected. That's what happens to you when you guys try to change these women into good women. You get your heart stomped on. Now you got to pick up the pieces. But if you were taught correctly, you would have been taught that not to trust a woman in this time because of all the different things that she's been seeing for the past 5 to 10 years. Not only in her own life, in her own household, but what she's been conditioned by society and through her pop culture and through her friends and through her family. You trying to make her into a good woman. She ain't never seen what a good woman is. All she's seen is putting her titties out, putting tights on, cussing, drinking, smoking. That's all she ever saw growing up. And she just go to college just to get the freedom. These women don't get any damn really good degrees. They just go to college to have fun and get smashed out. That's all they do. What's going on, Chris? Shout out to my man Polka Dot. Y'all go follow his YouTube channel and his TikTok. He be making college football content. And so college football is actually started back today. So you guys go check him out. Really good sports podcast. He said, we here been waiting. Yeah, man. So yeah, we just talking about these women today, how you're in the wrong generation. You were born into the wrong time when it comes to finding a decent woman that's going to love you for the rest of your life. I was talking to my barber today. I said, hey, because he's 50 years old. I was like, and he's divorced. I was like, what percentage of people in relationships and marriages would you say are they actually love each other and like each other? He's like, you know what, Mom, that's a good question. Because every relationship and every marriage that I talk to, people that I talk to in my own life, they either cheating or they can't stand the person they with. So this is what you're up against. It's unfortunate, and I'm not saying you can't find it. You're gonna look for the needle in the haystack. But this is really how bad it is, guys. I hate to admit it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know. I wish I could just come on here and party and just have a good time and tell you guys all the sweet stuff that you guys want to hear. But we got to talk that real stuff, the truth. Because a lot of you guys, you're running in circles. You're trying to find love. You don't know what the hell's going on. Let me explain it to you. You're dealing with a whole generation of lost women, conditioned to be promiscuous, conditioned to disrespect you, conditioned to disobey you, to not be cooperative, to make your life a living hell. It's unfortunate. It's highly unfortunate. I wish these women were better. And some of them figure it out. I will say this, some of them do figure it out. They just figure it out at 40 years old. They just figure it out at 35 years old. At that time, you don't want that. You don't want them at that time. You like, damn, you got 2 kids now? Yeah, I'll keep spreading the truth. Hey, the truth is not popular, but it's real. It's not popular, but it's real. So back to this game. And you know what's wild? This is the other dynamic that's going on that's harming good women from being good women. Because a lot of you guys, a good portion of the men out there, they're wifing up these 304s. They're wifing up adult content makers. They're wifing up women that are known to be out here in these streets effing around. Look at Klay Thompson. His simping ass is with Megan Thee Stallion. Now, I don't know if you guys have been watching the videos of them, but when you hear Klay Thompson talk and you hear Megan Thee Stallion talk, you guys are totally different, totally raised oppositely. But see, since dudes like 304s and they keep getting wiped up and they keep getting made to be girlfriends, well, the good women is like, damn, I'm being a good woman. I'm still single. So what? She got every incentive to be a 304. The 304s still get smashed and get attention and they get relationships and all that stuff. I'm a good woman. I get neglected. I get left out most times. And so you have a portion of the good women that you're losing because they don't see any benefit into being a good woman. Because a lot of dudes, they turn the good women into bad women. It's unfortunate sometimes. Sometimes the woman was already broken and she just don't want to do it in the first place. It is what it is. These women today, they want to go through that fun stage. They're going to go through that fun stage. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Either she gonna go through it when she's older or she's gonna go through it when she's younger. She's gonna go through it. It's too enticing. It's too fun to get flown out. to go on boats, to deal with toxic guys. It's too much fun. They hear way too many good stories from their 3 or 4 friends. You guys in a relationship, y'all do the same shit each and every day. She's bored. She wants something else. She watch excitement, hearing excitement from different stories. She gonna blow the relationship up eventually. Sad reality. Sad reality. It's hard to keep a woman from doing the wrong thing. It's hard, especially with the cellular phone. Ooh, Lord. Guys, I can promise you right now, I could end 60, 70, hell, even 80% of relationships right now with just one question. Can I see your phone? Why don't you guys change and see each other's phones? Most marriages and relationships would end overnight if they knew exactly what their partner was getting into on the phone when they aren't looking. A lot of you guys are watching this right now. You think your girlfriend is being faithful and you haven't been through her phone. And we got to get over that little thing where we're saying, well, you're insecure. You should never look at a woman's phone. Well, don't you protect this woman? You put your life on the line. You have every right to see her phone. You have every right to know what's going on with her. You're responsible for her life. You paid the ultimate price for when shit goes wrong. So why wouldn't you want to know what's going on her phone? But see, that's the problem with you guys today. You let them shame you into not checking. You let them shame you into not doing what you know and what you feel is right. Because I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of you, every time I've had that intuition that a woman was being unfaithful, it was right 9 times out of 10. When you look at a woman and you look at her, you're like, she gotta be a 304. She got nope. She wouldn't dress that way. She wouldn't talk that way. She wouldn't smoke and drink. Nope. See, a lot of you guys be ignoring the red flags. And then you act surprised when she breaks your heart. Come on, bro. We have to accept these realities to stop our lot. Because guys, what happens is when you guys get into these long-term relationships and they do you wrong, guys, these consequences are financial. And sometimes your ass don't ever recover. It takes years for you to cover financially. It takes years for you to recover emotionally, spiritually. This is a real thing. Like people getting into long-term relationships and marriages, that's a big decision you just made. And there's no guarantee that the shit's gonna work out. That's a huge risk that you were taking. And so why wouldn't you do the proper vetting, and if you see too many red flags, and cut it off, because the consequences are harsh. There's dudes out here that are raising kids that aren't their kids because he chose a woman that was unfaithful in the first place. Sad reality of the plight of relationships today. And I'm not telling you guys not to mess with women, not to date them, or not to get into long-term relationships. I'm not here to stop you. I'm just here to warn you. I'm just here to show you the cons of the shit. I know there's some positive, I know there's some cons, but you guys ignore the cons too. A lot of you guys be like, well, these celebrities, if they can't do it, well, we don't even have to look at the celebrities. Look at your own life. Look at your father. Look at your uncles. Look at your brothers. Look at your cousins, divorced, cheated on. Some dudes don't ever recover from women cheating on them. Some dudes crash out completely. They unalive the dude that was smashing and the chick, and they end up in prison. And so there's real legitimate consequences for choosing the wrong person. And the unfortunate reality that I'm trying to tell you guys today is we're in a generation of lost women. They were brought up to be 304s through pop culture, through their single mother raised family. They don't know what a respectable woman looks like, how she acts, how she speaks, how she conducts herself. They were just thrown out into the world, not really given a chance in the first place. You know what's despicable to me? This is really, really despicable to me. But this is what I'm running into as I get older. You know, as you guys get older, you tend to, and you're still single, you either run into women that are dating with a purpose or you run into women that are single mothers. One of the things that really, rubs me the wrong way is I keep running across women that want to get smashed out and they have 2-year-olds or a 2-year-old or little kids running around. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, you have kids. You're supposed to be focused completely on making sure those kids' lives are taken care of, that they're getting the best education, that they're being taught the right information, that they're, being corrected on a consistent basis so they become productive people in society. So they become respectable people and respectable women and boys and men and grow up and to be, really good people. But instead, she's on a date nap or she's out here in these streets getting smashed. She got her kids, her little kids in the other room sleeping while a dude is in there smashing them guts. She be leaving out the house telling her 10-year-old and 11-year-old that she'll be right back. She'll be right back. Don't let anybody in the house. Don't pick up the phone. Telling them that she's gonna go out and go get something to eat or whatever and bring it back. When really, she just went out just to get smashed for 10, 15 minutes. She's gonna bring the food back, but she's gonna get smashed before. That's why she took that extra 10, 15 minutes. She's like, damn, the food is right down the street. Chris, why is your wrench gone, bro? Why is your, I don't know your wrench was gone. I didn't tamper with that. YouTube be doing some goofy stuff sometimes. Yeah, I just put it back for you. I don't know why it left in the first place, bro. That had to be Google or YouTube. I don't know what's going on. But Chris writes, priorities, people have forgotten them. Absolutely. People, this is the mindset of the modern person. You buy what you want and beg for what you need. That's the mindset of most people in society right now. You buy what you want and beg for what you need. I could shut that was so cold. I could shut the stream down and already have said enough. People buy what they want and beg for what they need. Let's see, Chris further writes, he said, I feel that men have to set the tone and standards early in a relationship. Bro, you have to. Bro, you have to, because what's gonna happen is, and I've witnessed this in my college years. When you're just talking and you hadn't made it clear where you're trying to take this, and whether it's just a casual thing or whether it's a relationship, if you don't establish that early and you just assume that you guys are just going towards a relationship, what you're going to find out is, since you didn't establish what you were looking for early and the boundaries early, you're going to find out that she was talking to you and other dudes at the same time. And she'll even and she'll even say it's your fault. Well, I didn't know what we were. She knew what you were. Like women aren't stupid. We're just women, like they lose like all common sense. It's just like, okay, like we're just talking for the f of it. We're just conversating. I'm taking you out on dates. I'm asking you questions about your past dating life. I'm just doing all this stuff for the f of it. But women will. That's the game that women will play. They will say, well, I didn't know what we were. So of course I was talking to my ex. Of course I was still getting smashed because you didn't. It gives them that plausible deniability. And so yeah, you have to establish it early because if you don't, you're gonna find out why you guys were talking and going through that stage. She was still getting smashed out. And some women are so disrespectful and so out of line that you can still set the tone and she'll still fuck up and she'll still fuck around. Yep. So nothing's saving you from her effing around, guys. If she's gonna F around, she's gonna F around. But yeah, you have to set the tone and standards early. You can't set them, a year later. Some dudes be doing that, and she'd be like, "Well, I've been doing this whole time, and you didn't say anything." And some of that is actually a legitimate excuse. So that's a good point that Chris just brought up. As you guys enter in here in this live stream, double tap that the screen and hit the like button. Comment your thoughts. I'll read your thoughts in the chat room if you guys have any thoughts about this topic that we're talking about. You know what else is despicable? And I don't typically deal with these women, but I keep hearing stories about these women way too many times from dudes that I know that are older than me. These married women, this is what contributes to this is why I say generations and generation. Really, I just mean generations because it's multiple generations of women that have been lost. They've been lost in the sauce of this dating matrix and problem. But I keep hearing stories from my older friends and people that I talk about. They're like, yeah, these that are single. They're like, yeah, like these women that are married, they be living double lives. They got their married life, and then whenever they get done with that, they got a whole side dude. You're living in a portion in a day and time where women, it's hard to find a loyal one that's gonna stay down for you. You have the women that are single moms still effing around in these streets. And then you have married women that are still out here in these streets. And then you got these single women that say they want to get married one day, but they're messing around, they're messing up their whole bodies and being ridiculous out here in these streets. All these women are out in the streets. The streets is calling consistently. And the streets is very persuasive. That's what you guys don't understand. The streets are extremely persuasive and extremely women love the streets, guys. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Yeah, they're gonna get tired of it from time to time because they get tired of getting pumped and dumped and having one night stands. I want an emotional connection. She'll find a guy that give her to her. And then she'll go back to the streets. One, because the streets is all she's known. And two, it's just you gotta ask yourself, guys, why do people really cheat? Because you run through the same act with every woman when it comes to that, when it comes to having intercourse. You're gonna kiss her lips, you're gonna grab her behind, you're gonna kiss the neck, maybe bite the lip. You're gonna do the same act each and every time. So why are you really cheating? You're cheating because you want a novelty. You want a different person. People are wired. That's why you can't trust a woman or really anybody, but really you can't trust a woman that's been out in the streets because she's used to that dopamine hit of that novelty of having a new man each and every night. Oh, I got the tall black version tonight. Ooh, I got the tall white guy version tonight. I got the Mexican version tonight. I got the Indian guy tonight. I got the European guy tonight. She's used to that dopamine hit, that novelty. That's why she gets bored with relationships. She gets tired of having intercourse with the same dude. They'll never say this out loud, but this is why you got me to say it. I'll say it for you guys to piece it together. Chris writes, he said, would you say women crave toxicity? A portion of them actually do. Sad reality. Sad reality. We think that women, we were taught to believe as young men that women are angels, that they, are nice. And as you get older and you encounter more and more women, you find that that is the furthest thing from the truth. Women are deceiving, conniving, liars, uh, manipulators. Women do crave toxicity. Why do you think these married women be cheating? Because they love having forbidden sex. Just the thought, the thrill that they could get caught excites them, makes them smash the side dude even harder. This is why statistics say women that love adrenaline hits, toxic, spontaneous, exciting things, they're more likely to cheat than a calm woman. Because she constantly needs that spontaneous, emotional thrill. A lot of you guys think she likes Pookie because Pookie is just that dude. No, Pookie, he disappeared for 3 days. Then he texts her back and apologize and tell her he love her. And then he meet up with her, and then he pulled a car over and smashed her in the car. And then he disappear again, and then he just pop up at her house, and then he walked through the door and he just pin her down and get right to it. And the next day, they smoke and drink, and he go racing. That's why, bro. That's why Pookie be getting the women, because he's spontaneous and all over the place, bro. These women love emotional turmoil. Women love toxicity. Most of the toxic dude, this is what their game is. They tell the woman what she wants to hear, but his actions are toxic. He tells her, "I love her." He tells her all the sweet things she wants to hear, but he'll go ghost. He'll be cheating on her. He'll discard her. I know this is pretty harsh for people, women or men, to accept about women, but this is real. We see this way too many times. You like, as a young dude, you'd be like, you was talking to a chick, you'd be like, the woman be crying, and she'd be like, I can't stand him. He be cheating. He be doing me wrong. And the next day, they be making out in the lockers because she loves that emotional roller coaster. So Chris further writes, so how do you overcome a woman that craves toxicity? You're gonna have to give her what you want. Give her what you want. You have to be toxic too. But the thing is with that is, the thing with Pookie and Ray Ray is he was raised in a single mother household. His lifestyle is actually crazy. So that's actually who he is. Some dudes are just naturally toxic and they can't help it. So if you're a good guy or a nice guy, you can't be toxic, not to the level that she's used to. So you have to avoid toxic women. Toxic women. You can't be something that you're not. She knows that you're faking it. So you can't overcome it if you're not going to participate in her game. And I think there's some things to learn about toxic dudes. Some things you should implement just in your day-to-day relationships. Not all of it, definitely, because you're the woman not gonna stay. But that's spontaneous when it comes to the intercourse, and spontaneous when it comes to like, hey, I'll be over there in 10 minutes. Get dressed, we going out somewhere. That kind of spontaneous stuff. Yeah, that women need that. You ain't got to go all the way to the extent of what he does, but for the most part, you got to be who you are, bro. Like you can't. If you aren't toxic, because like to the dudes that want to be successful and they trying to get wives and stuff, like where how you be successful is doing the same thing over and over again, each and every day. You got to hit the gym every day. You got to eat healthy every day. You got to work every day. You got to have the same day each day in order for you to reach the heights of success that you need to reach. You can't be spontaneous and be successful. The reason why Pookie and Ray Ray do that because they don't live an honest lifestyle. They're going to prison in 2 years. So it's their life is really wired. And so like you for a woman that craves toxicity, you're gonna take your good habits and your good successful habits and you're gonna bore her. And she's just gonna go out and cheat or leave. Because women don't want a portion of them don't want. They say they want successful men and rich men, but when they get into a lifestyle and deal with them on a consistent basis with how often they work, how often they work on their goals, they can't deal with it or it's boring for them or whatever. So really the toxic women, you need to leave them alone. You want the women that want high achievers. You can smash a toxic woman. Just don't wife her. That's gonna bite you in the end. All your hard work for success will go down the drain because she'll either she'll end the marriage. Now you got to pay child support, alimony, causing a whole unbalancing of your assets and achievements. This is why when marriage, it's guys, if you make the wrong decision marriage wise, the financial recovery, the emotional recovery, you're gonna have to be one hell of a man to overcome that. And so women think that they can go out and be a 304 in the first part of their life, the young part of their life, and that they can just flip a switch and become a good woman. How are you going to become a good woman when the past 5 to 10 years you've been effing around in these streets? That's not a switch that you can turn on and off. Why do you think criminals, when they come out, most of the times they don't go back, they don't, especially if they're like really high ranking, dealers of narcotics, they're not going to work a normal job. They're used to making 30K every 3 weeks or a month from all that fast money they were dealing. They're not going to turn that switch and become a good, honest, working person. So it's the same thing with women. You've been a 304 for the past 5 to 10 years. You're not just going to be a good wife and be a good, submissive, traditional wife all of a sudden. Your habits are too messed up. Your mindset is too messed up. You're either a good woman or you aren't. That's the reality. And so as you guys go along in your day-to-day lives, I give you guys this game not to control you, not to tell you what to do, but to just open your eyes and to see what women are actually, the different motives that women are trying to convince you of. If any of you guys that watch this on the replay or watching this currently, if you so happen to bump into a good woman, please keep that woman because there's no the likelihood of you finding her again is slim to none, and slim just died. I'm just telling you, it's going to be hard because if you're going to put her through a strenuous vetting process, most women are going to fail it and fail it early. And you're going to be disappointed. And I'm just saying, we're dealing with a whole generation of lost women. Sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, we got to be in the last days. We got to be in the last days. Nothing makes sense no more. Women say they're strong and independent, but yet they want a man. Don't make no sense. She want to be a good woman later in her life, but she want to mess up her life in the interim. Don't make any sense. Women be having unrealistic expectations and be having 3 kids from 3 different baby daddies. Don't make any sense. Good dudes be getting overlooked by women all the time. Good dudes be getting left. These women be saying on the internet, you guys watch my reaction videos. These women be saying on a consistent basis that the dude was a nice guy. He was a good guy. Still getting left. Making good money. Doing everything she wants him to do. Still get left. It don't make no sense, do it? We got to be in the last days. So you guys comment your last little bit of questions, comments. We're gonna wind this live stream down. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say in the chat or what you guys' opinions are. I know this stuff can be a harsh reality for you guys. But I mean, would you rather be heartbroken by this, or would you rather be heartbroken by that woman that you thought was loyal to you for the past 10 years? And then you find out that not only has she been cheating, but the child that she said was yours is not yours. Now you have to deal with that reality. Now you have to split up your assets. Now you have to recover emotionally. Now, in the middle of all of that, you still have to provide for yourself. Sometimes you have to still pay child support because you signed the birth certificate, even though that DNA test is not yours. The child isn't yours. But since you signed the birth certificate, now you still have to pay it because according to the government, you are the father. I promise you, you would rather me give you this information than you go out into the real world and make a bad mistake. And then you realize that nobody's out there to help you. You're struggling, trying to figure this out by yourself. The men ain't gonna help you. The women ain't gonna help you. All the women gonna say is you should have chose better. Well, damn, whenever I first met her, I didn't think she was gonna do this shit. I didn't think she was gonna switch up. Nobody goes into a relationship thinking the shit's gonna end. And so these are very critical decisions that we have to make in our daily lives. And I promise you, you guys would rather hear it from me, rather hear the harshness from me than to go out here and make these critical mistakes and learn the hard way. Now it's taking you years to recover. I'm not telling you guys like I said, I'm not telling you guys what to do in your lives. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to tell you all the possibilities, all the different things that could go wrong, that could cost you in the long term. Some men don't ever recover. You get divorced at 50, Guys, you're not going to work the next 10 years, 12 hours a day. You're 50, your energy's gone down. That's a huge thing that she just did that just upended your whole life. So that's all I'm saying, guys. So hopefully you guys got some value out of this. Hopefully you guys got some good game out of this. Um, that's going to be it for this live stream. I appreciate you guys coming in here, supporting. If you don't choose wisely, it could cost you everything you work for. Exactly, bro. And bro, you work as a dude, man. Like, you have to work for everything you have. It's gonna take blood, sweat, tears, you being sore and still going to go work out, you being tired and you still going to work, you being frustrated, depressed, doubting yourself, not knowing if this shit's gonna work or not. You gonna go through all of that just for a woman to say, hey, I'm not happy, and upend your years of sacrifice. So you better choose wisely. You gotta choose wisely. You gotta be picky. You gotta be shrewd when it comes to your dating life. Long term. Now, shit, if you don't care about, if you just smashing being a bachelor, who cares, right? Just wear a condom. You don't want to end up like the people in Houston that's getting HIV and all kind of crazy stuff in Atlanta. So, yeah, guys, the truth is needed, even though most people won't accept it. It is what it is. But that is my live stream. I appreciate you guys coming in here. You guys be on the lookout for me tomorrow. I'll be live streaming tomorrow. Probably, I don't know, probably around the same time tomorrow. I've usually been doing it 6 o'clock on Sunday, but I think we're just gonna go back to doing it at 1 o'clock again. So you guys check me out at 1 o'clock. If you watch the replay, double tap the screen and hit the like button on your way out. And I will see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.